Okay, brace for it. No amount of alcohol-tinged breath could be enough to prepare me for a bar smell, surely. Mother always talks about how awful bars are, and how that's why she only ever drinks at home. Sweaty and piggish and smelling like failure. This can only lead to misery. Slowly I part my fingers over my nostrils. Oh, it doesn't smell at all. Cut that out, Winter. You look ridiculous. Hey, leave me alone. I've been misled. Quick to admit it. I have been misled. Slowly I put down my hand, but not without glaring at Cyrus. He ignores us, of course, and walks over to an empty table and to have a seat. He then pats the top of the chair next to him, inviting me. Whatever. Follow his lead, still cautious of this place. Notice how there's only a few people here, although it's lunch hour? What do you imagine that means? Most of the people here really like to work? Or maybe they really have to. Well, it's probably a good thing this place is so empty. Too many customers might be a bit overwhelming for you. Can also make it rather difficult to actually find out anything. I see. There are only 4 other people in the bar besides us, all of whom are men, and all thrice my age by the look of it. The 2 who seem to be customers are dressed in a rather rough manner, like they've walked out of a construction site. I'm not the type to pride myself on appearances or anything, but I actually feel slightly embarrassed for them. They aren't the first in the world to look so deplorable. In fact, I would say they look fairly good by comparison. Most people I've seen look like they picked their outfits from a pile of rags. Thankfully, the other 2, both in uniform, are very presentable. The waiter, or he's probably the waiter, looks rather spiffy, and the man behind the counter is quite cleanly dressed. So this world is not entirely hopeless. But enough about men and clothes. The wall behind the counter is far more interesting. 2 lengthy rows of wildly varying bottles, some round, some square, and some outright peculiar. Admittedly, I'm enticed. Only for a second, I assure you. After all, I have been told that alcohol tastes like piss. Well, I wouldn't know myself. I've never tried it. What? You never tried alcohol? No, piss. Huh. Well, that's true. It isn't the best until you get used to it. And then it's the best! That aside, I've also been told it makes you act like a twit, causes bouts of forgetfulness, and slowly poisons your liver. That is true, to a point. Eventually you become addicted to it. Not everyone does, but there's the possibility. Then why drink it? Some people enjoy losing control of themselves. Many love to forget. When it comes to managing chaos, which we've already established is a very important part of understanding the systems around us and our lives, losing control and gaining control can be the same thing. You'll see for yourself and be able to form your own opinion soon. I would rather not. It's not the most critical stance. Honestly, I'm more fine with following the popular opinion. It is often correct and has saved me a lot of trouble in the past. It can be uncritical though. Following the status quo can be very, very safe. And also dangerous for other people who can't afford to follow the status quo. While my thoughts wander to say for days, the man who I believe is the waiter comes to our table. What can I get you? 2 beers, any brand you like. Coming right up. Man, I wish I could just ask for any brand you like. That sounds good. That sounds like a good policy. Usually people are like, no, you have to pick one, because I don't want to get you something you don't like. And I'm like, alright, fair enough. When he departs, I find myself curious about 2 things. Firstly, I have to drink 2 beers? No! What is for me? What's your second question, Winter? Why would you want to drink one? I'm one of the people who enjoys losing a bit of control over themselves. I would not have pegged him as the sort, at any rate. The second thing, what's a brand, sir? Does it have something to do with fire and iron? True fact. Every person who has a brand has it literally branded to their skin with fire and iron. That is a fact. The CEO of Microsoft has it branded to his skin. It's true. It's true. It's very true. Some people have many brands pegged to their skin. Pardon? Well, we used to brand cattle and other animals with a symbol that would associate them with a farmer, right? That is, if I remember history. There's the rub. I like this a lot. This is why we joke about branding ourselves. We are also chaining ourselves down to a brand in a lot of ways. Would associate them with a farmer. People farm brands. It's kind of gross. This is with fire and iron, so this is something similar? I'm not saying something stupid, am I? Is it how the alcohol is made, perhaps? Are the ingredients burned in some way before they're officially beer? Maybe some sort of spiritual system? She's working through this question, and I'm glad that Cyrus is not just answering it for her. They do call them spirits after all, there must be a reason for that, right? Why isn't he saying anything? Or has it something to do with real spirits? Like some sort of rite where each batch is brewed with honor of someone who's died. I've seen some microbrews that are like that. This is true. I mean, I've read these places can be very strange, and am I close? Oh, please let me be close. No. And that's okay. You don't have to be right. You're not close. You're not even close to what is the truth. But who cares about what the truth is, because your story was better. That's a cooler reason. It is why we ask big questions and make connections that are sometimes ridiculous. This is why we let's play interactive fictions despite that we have not made a single decision in the entire game. Our agency is only down to every time I click the button to make text go forward. We do this because it's critical and because it helps us understand the world around us better and in more fun, playful ways. Like, let's analyze alcohol spirits as those spirits being brewed in honor of the dead. That sounds awesome. Honestly though, I'm a little disappointed. Some fantasy would be nice. See? It is nice! Winter, I'm starting to think you've already gotten yourself drunk off the atmosphere. That is a thing that happens, god damn it. Oh, please. Here you go. Winter has returned, bearing 2 tall and thick tankards foaming at the brim. Beer, right? I know more of vodka and wines. One is placed in front of Cyrus, and the other in front of me. Enjoy! He leaves. I peek over the cup's lip and peer into its mouth. The beverage does not take kindly to my curiosity, bubbling and spitting at me. Winter is putrefied by this. I withdraw with a start. How intimidating. It's very intimidating. Sir? Don't be such a baby, it won't kill you. There'll be much worse things you'll have to swallow than alcohol, trust me. It sounds as though Cyrus is perfectly fine with bending over, should the situation demand it. Ingesting things like this, ingesting things worse than this. Allow me to apologize, Cyrus, but I am not a wimp. I know where to draw the line. It is quite the opposite of weakness, really. It is strength. No one is going to force me to do anything I don't agree to. That said, I did say I would drink some of this. Lifting the glass with both hands, I gingerly tip it toward my lips and take in a mouthful. Okay, good. Good. Oh heavens, I do not want to drink this. I swish the liquid a bit, and as it mixes with my saliva, it seems nearly viscous even. I want to retch. This is simply the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. Atrocious! It bullies the back of my throat with a sizzling, now a burning sensation that has spread through my entire oral cavity. The ordeal lasts less than 10 seconds before I stop thinking and just swallow it. Oh, come on. Goosebumps ripple across my skin, my eyes water, beer drains down my esophagus, raising everything in its descent. Ugh, this is disgusting. Cyrus proceeds to drain half of his glass with a speed rivaling my mother's and an expression just as insensible. It amazes me that he can stomach it, and even more that he's willingly subjecting himself to it. it's important to note that she has a history with alcohol that is complicated. And there's good questions to be asked in that. Ah, this is pretty okay, actually. Best I've had in a while. You're joking. It was worse than what I imagined piss to taste like. And the sensation, everything about it is just, it's disgusting. It's chaotic. And that's what she's not ready for. Honestly, I find myself at a loss of words here. This beverage is just nasty. Finish that glass and we'll move along. I'm not finishing it. Not. Do it. No! Do it. Do it. I mock him. Don't take that tone, just finish your glass. Finish my glass? Let my hands drop with gravity, my cup crashing into the table. This is what you want me to finish. Then, Cyrus, who I'm quickly losing respect for, I will drink this mug, and in fact I'll finish it, if you do one thing for me in the future. Pardon? It isn't loud in here, Cyrus. I know that you heard me. Is she asking for a favor? What do you want me to do? Nothing now. The future is not now. Now is the present. The future is later. I'll tell you then. Ooh, don't do it, Cyrus! Don't do it. It's a trap. Are you sure you're not drunk, Winter? Hush. Fine. You'll have your way if you'll have mine, Winter Harrison. It's a deal you cannot break, sir. With that, I drain my glass in a matter of seconds using a technique I've observed over the years. When I set it down, there was naught but suds. Cyrus is impressed. I am appalled. This is so nasty. Squeeze my eyes shut and let the wave of warm and trembling feelings wash over me. Mercy, Winter. That was something else. How are you feeling? I answer him with a stare and a shiver. Really? Shake my head. Honestly, now that the wretched experiences of an instant is over, I realize I was overreacting. While certainly vile, it doesn't seem to be immediately damaging. Looks like it'll take more than one beer to impair my judgment. Either that or this stuff's effects are simply delayed. I am fine, I think. Ah, you should be. Yeah, I don't really realize I might have spoken too soon, as I suddenly feel a bit as though I'm glowing. Not a terrible feeling, and I seem to be myself. All is in order. I don't feel much different at all. Give it some time. You didn't really drink too much anyway. But you did drink it all at once, which is helpful. There usually isn't a whole lot of alcohol in beer. Wonderful. Both of my theories are true. Okay, so what now? Now we begin conversing. Cyrus discreetly points to the man in the corner. I'm going to talk to that man. You take the one at the counter. Try bringing up work and going on from there. Oh, and of course, don't forget to keep where we're from and why we're here a secret. Darn it, I don't get a no. That kind of bartering chip shouldn't even be allowed to you kids. I'm going to talk to him alone? Well, yeah, I think it'd make him pretty uncomfortable to have us both ganging up on him. Oh, I don't know about this. Don't worry, the bartender's right here, and I'm not far either. Nothing will happen to you. It's not that, I'm not very good at talking to people. You're doing fine with me. Okay, but you're my superior. Just go over there, give it a try. Fine. Jerk, I'll do it. Get out of my seat, and I immediately yank at the table's edge as the floor shifts. Oops. Oh no. My knees quiver with fear, and I firmly plant my feet, my heart thumping like I'm about to die. Gracious! What was that? Did something happen? Have we failed? Oh, Winter! Oh no! Calm down, you're just a bit tipsy. Shut up! That's what happens. There's not a fault in your logic. It's your equilibrium is broke. Just a little bit. A little imbalanced. It's weird. Tipsy, oh, buzzed. Right, I'm just... Ah, crap.